Alright guys, welcome back. It's typical Al again. And I'm just back. I figured I'd make another one while I'm up and awake, and when you work overnights, your sleep schedule gets all fucked up because your bosses tell you, oh, I need you to babysit some people on overnights. Okay. Anyways, I thought I'd just do some fun stuff. Just like I can't even talk right now. See, I like to do impressions. But at the same time, you gotta remember, life's too short to be acting stupid. So, it's goofy shit like this. Like, this is just what comes off of my mind. Like, I'm telling you, I could be a stand-up comedian. It's just stupid shit like that. So, okay, so if we're going to start talking like this, then we have to be aware that the world has gone to shit. That's all we know. We don't have a clue. We don't have a problem. We need to start figuring out how to make America great again. Obviously, you figured out who I'm doing right now, but we don't know. You should know. If you don't know me, you're stupid. Go home to mommy. You see? Like, just fun stuff like that. Like, I do impressions at work. I do them at home. I probably annoy the bejesus out of my girlfriend, but you know what? Like, I enjoy being stupid because it's a good release for me. It's something for me to do. So, all right now. It's like we do Bill Clinton. You just can't help but feel empowered. All right. Yeah, so, I don't know, but later tonight I'm going to wake my wife up and see what's going on down there. You know what I'm saying? Like, stupid things like that. Or we can do Ronald Reagan, who passed away years ago. He told you to win one for the Gipper. And we did. And now we're back to Donald Trump. Is he the second coming? We don't know. But you know what? America is thriving, folks. Here's the line. Here's him. He's doing some free thinking things, that I can tell you. It doesn't matter because he's doing and being himself. Even when he's off message, he's on message. Even when he loses, he wins. And just, I'll give you my opinion on some stuff. Alec Baldwin won an award for doing an impression of him on SNL. He's funny, but he doesn't sound like him. He makes this like this stoned look on his face. Like, I don't buy it. Daryl Hammond actually did a good impression of him. Jimmy Fallon, I think, was actually better than him when he does it on The Late Show with Jimmy Fallon. I don't like Alec Baldwin's interpretation. I just think that it was a little too, gruff. Like, if you listen to the way Donald Trump talks, when he was younger, he was a little more relaxed. He talks more quickly like this, but also with a very distinct tone of his voice, where it was, you have to make sure that you enunciate everything, but it had this, six quarters accent from New York City. He sounded, because the Brooklyn accent's like this, hey, how you doing? No, he was more refined. He did a little bit of Bronx, Brooklyn, put them all together, and you get Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? And Alec Baldwin was kind of like Liam Neeson. Like, oh, I will find you, and I will kill you. That to me is how Alec Baldwin sounded. Maybe, and it's just me. I don't give a damn. You could tell me I'm 100% wrong. It's okay. That's just my opinion. I don't think he really, sold it. Because you gotta do the hand gestures. You have to look around, you have to point, and then you have to bring it back like this. He has a very distinct tone to his voice. It's a cadence where a lot of our imports were going overseas, they're raping our women, They're making us all weak. We can't have that anymore. Not anymore, okay? You're right about that. I used to say The Art of the Deal is my second favorite book. What's my first? The Bible. The Bible. That's right. You see, like, it's a little more relaxed tone to his voice, you know? And again, I know there's no rhyme or reason to anything I'm saying. This is just observations I make. Well, Dana Carvey was certainly on point about George H.W. A lot of those fellas down there doing some damage, scary. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. That's right. Dana Carvey was good. I actually enjoyed his performance as George H.W. Bush on SNL. It was actually spot on. You start with Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Throw in some John Wayne. Here we go over the ridge. You get George Herbert Walker Bush. You know, I mean, he had a very distinct tone. Not my fault. But they want to raise taxes. I say no. And they'll ask again, and I'll say no. And I'll say, read my lips. No new taxes. You know, it's just, I enjoyed his performance. You know, Reagan is one of my favorites to do because he has a very distinct tone to his voice. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. You know, so it's fun to be goofy, you know. There really is no storyline here. I'm just doing something to, you know, have some fun. Life's too short to be too serious. You know, and I work with my supervisor, which I can talk to you about now. He's an elderly guy who kind of reminds me of Kermit the Frog a little bit. He's like Mr. Magoo almost, where he doesn't really have a clue what's going on, but he just kind of walks around and just kind of acts like he knows everything on the planet. So he, you know, and when he lies, and because he doesn't have a clue about some things, when he lies, his voice just goes up like 3 octaves, like somebody grabbed him by the crotch, like, oh yeah, I know about those SOBs, oh yeah. No. And then there's my other supervisor who's like, oh, look at me, I'm a big deal. Oh, read the manual because I don't want to train anybody. Now these are the same people who've been at the same company for 10 years. They are so complacent. It's insane. You have people sleeping the night, you have people that I work with who are sleeping the night away on camera. You have people disappearing and nothing gets done about it. Nothing. I say we waterboard them and bring back a hell of a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid to me. Why is this allowed to continue? It's insanity to me. You got people getting away with murder around here. And if you do your job, you're wrong. For reference, I'm a security guard. I love what I do. Wish there was more money, wish there were more benefits, but I like what I'm doing. But where I work, it's so ass backward. There are sites you can work at where you can have total, you know, you can be a security guard. You can take your job seriously. Not at this place. No. You have to do what they want you to do. You do what they're comfortable letting you do. Somebody parks where they're not supposed to, you tell them not to, they go to their supervisor, and the supervisor tells you, don't bother with them anymore. We're supposed to be doing bag checks. They can refuse. They can refuse. And then we're supposed to write their name down and send it to HR and let them deal with it. Are you kidding me? How much sense does that make? And it may be an extreme example, but think about the Florida shootings. When the guy walked into the school, the guard was outside or something, and he just unloads his gun in the school. And I work at a site where they're manufacturing drugs. Why on earth would you be so hesitant to be bag checked? Now, there are certain people, I won't give names, but there are certain people who literally do not do their job. They just said, screw it. I have an old coworker, I won't give any names, but I had an old coworker who just, that's not my job. Fuck them. I'm not trained. I got nothing to do with that. Fuck them. Screwballs. And it didn't make sense until now that he's been gone for a while. It all makes sense now. He was right. We can't do anything there. We can't do our job effectively because somebody will complain. But that seems to be the common theme these days. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. That's where we are right now. It's horseshit. You work in a site where you're manufacturing scheduled drugs and you're refusing a bag check. We write an incident report, we give it away to the HR department and let them figure it out, and then nothing happens. Nothing. Not one damn thing happens. And then if you have a complaint, which you should, you will have complaints, but they better be legitimate complaints. If you have legitimate complaints, and you're supposed to go to your immediate supervisor, and then you tell him the problem, and he goes, well, what do you want me to do about it? Really? Fix the problem. When everybody has told you that there is a problem, and you do nothing about it? Really? And then you go to the big boss. You tell him that this other supervisor isn't doing his job. He goes, oh yeah, what do you want me to do about it? Folks, I'm not trying, nobody's perfect, and I'm certainly not perfect, but I swear to you, if I were in charge of this site, there would be so many changes. People will be held accountable for their actions. Like as it is now, you could do a line of cocaine right off the desk in front of the camera and nothing will happen. Not one damn thing will happen because you know what? People are so complacent. Our two supervisors have been at that site for 10 years. Not doing a damn thing because they can't get fired because they're just untouchable because they back each other up whether they want to admit it or not. We've got some serious issues to address here. And when I bring up legitimate complaints, nothing happens. Then they wonder why morale is at an all-time low because the stupidity level is just up here. They wonder why security isn't taken seriously. Why should we be? Why should we do our job? Because nothing's going to happen. I'm inspired by Mike the Cop. I like to watch him. He makes a lot of funny videos, but they're all true. It's like you can't self-identify anymore, And there are transgender people where I work. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter to me. But, for example, last week, when I walk into work and you say, good morning, sir, to a guy who looks like a man, facial hair, a man, Adam's apple, and dresses in man's clothes. And I said, good morning, sir. He says, I prefer to be called ma'am. And at first you think to yourself, this is a joke. It's gotta be. He's just screwing with you, Oh, and I was like, okay, have a good day. No, He made a formal complaint that I was being sexist. Sexist. To a man. Just like me. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in now, folks. Are you serious? If you look like a man, you sound like a man, you're a man. But how am I to assume that you self-identify as a woman? How am I supposed to know that? The better option would be that if you want to, self-identify as a woman, great, fine. Maybe let somebody know. Maybe wear a name tag that says, I identify as a woman, because I promise you, if you walk around looking like a man, dressing like a man, having facial hair, you are a man. You self-identify as a woman. That is a crock. We're supposed to just assume, and Mike the cop actually made a video kind of like this, like, how are we to assume? You want to take your own personal freedoms and do whatever you want to identify as a non-binary cucumber, be my guest. I don't care. But when you go around inflicting your opinion, I self-identify as a woman. Okay, well, I self-identify as a unicorn. But you look like a man. You sound like a man. You dress like a man. You can't just assume everybody's going to be on board with that. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyways, guys, that's my rant for tonight. I'll have much more work stories coming up soon. I think I'm tired enough where I'm going to actually attempt to sleep on the couch because it's hot as shit upstairs where my girlfriend and daughter are right now. It's too hot. So, anyways, rock on, guys. I'll see you later, okay? Until next time, this is Typical. Have a good one.